Hey guys, Alex the Xenoblader here. So, before I get into direct gameplay commentary, I'm going to talk about the impending sequel a bit more now. Because as of recording this, a new trailer plus demo gameplay footage has been released. I'll try not to ramble on too much, but do not count on it. I'm slightly disheartened that there's no evidence of a return of old characters. At least so far. But I won't get any hopes up. However, the mild disappointment is easily overshadowed by three things. 1. My knowledge that in some games, sequels can be their own realm entirely, essentially not at all related to its predecessor. 2. The brief gameplay footage showed a return of classic monsters, Armu, Flammy, Wolf, and even the fucking territorial Rotbart. 3. The same musicians from this game will perform in the sequel, Ace Plus, Manami Kiyota. I just look forward to downloading the soundtrack and listening to it all day. So, even if the sequel shows no relation to the original, I'm confronted by these tiny references. Well, compared to X, they're not tiny. I mean, in X, you have tiny nods to the Minato, to ether crafting furnaces, and to Homs. But X is its own realm. Like what Tetsuya Takahashi said in the gameplay video. Xenoblade X, Xenoblade X2, Xenoblade X3, etc. They're all focused on exploration, and is an entirely different series. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, etc. will focus on story. So, I take Xenoblade Chronicles 1 references in X with a pinch of salt, but any references in 2 will be gladly embraced. Even if the original cast isn't going to be in there, even if there's no Machina, High Intia, or whatever, I'm just glad the monsters share the same names. And I am certainly stoked as fuck that there's not just Nopon, but a Nopon fighter now. Ironically, his name is Tora, and Tora is Tatsu's rival in X. The prospect of living on Titans is reused in 2. It makes me excited to see what forms of life the other Titans have. Maybe Mechon? Who knows? I mean, High Intia could be in there for all we know. So can the Machina. We only saw a little bit of the gameplay footage, so they could be in there. Shulk could be an NPC, we don't know. I look forward to seeing what the game's gonna implement. If it'll implement anything regarding the original. Also, I had a thought recently. In Xenoblade 2, the swords have their own sentient manifestations. Without spoiling anything, that concept does sort of exist with the Minato. So who knows? Maybe in the sequel, we will get a Minato with this manifestation. Maybe not as a story arc, but possibly a DLC idea, or just a cute little nod to the original. It's all speculation at this point. Although there currently isn't any evidence of the characters from 1 coming back, I'm still looking forward to Xenoblade 2. Again, I've kept in mind that the sequel may be its own realm. So if the characters from this game are not in Xenoblade 2, I'll be perfectly fine with it. I'm just pleased that the music won't be techno like X's, and that the monsters have the same names almost, with new ones to boot, like a Buffaloop or whatever it was. Not to mention, with how this game ends, a direct sequel isn't entitled. This game ends on a conclusive note, so if Xenoblade 2 is its own realm and doesn't have the characters in this game, I'll understand completely. I'm concerned about one thing though. The level cap. Will it be something like 60 again? Or will it be 99? Since there's no scales that we have seen so far anyway, I'm hoping it's the latter. Scales could work, but at the same time, that'd make Titan hopping in the game too easy. Scales could also be an X exclusive concept, but if there is scales in 2, the level cap is most likely gonna be stupidly low. I've always said this, but I don't agree with the level 60 cap, because the vast majority of tyrants in X are above level 60. I mean, look at the Aimbringer, it's fucking level 99. So, yeah. I just hope that the level cap will be a little bit more lenient. It probably doesn't even have to be 99. Just please don't be 60 again. I mean, because I know for a fact the territorial walk bar in 2, it's an 81, just like it is in this game. So I'm hoping the level cap will be higher than X, especially since, I mean, because X is its own realm. So I'm hoping that maybe the X series will have level 60 as the cap, and the original Chronicle series will have 99 as the cap. But anyway, what I do hope will return into are old races like Machina and Hyantia, maybe even Rothians from X, or the Zerobogans, or the Orpheans. Races from X could come back. I wouldn't mind that either. The Prone, the Rothians, the Manon, Machina, Hyantia, have all of the races from both games in that. But since Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a sequel to the original, to this game, there most likely won't be any references to X, but I won't count on that because X has references to the original, so there might be a nod if there isn't a direct reference. Like maybe there will be a person named Tatsu or Elma or something. There doesn't have to be a story-related reference, but just like a little nod here and there. I also hope that 2 will have affinity in heart-to-hearts. I would like the heart-to-hearts to be styled like the Xenoblade 1 though, because X's heart-to-hearts are very one-sided. If you have a heart-to-heart with Elma, it's all Elma talking, you're not talking back. It doesn't help that you, Cross, which is the default character name in X. When you first pick character in X, when you start to make a character in X, Cross is the default name, so that's what he's known as by default. It doesn't matter if your character's name is Darth Vader, it's Cross to the Xenoblade community. So when I say Cross, I'm referring to the default character in X. But when Cross has a heart-to-heart with Elma, it's all Elma talking. But again, it doesn't help that Cross is you, and he doesn't really have a backstory, really, apart from the fact that Elma found him in a small capsule in Primordia. So I'm hoping that since there's no user-generated characters in 2, there shouldn't be any one-sided heart-to-hearts. If there is heart-to-hearts, which I really hope there is. Since there's no character creation in 2 that I know of, it'll be more personal. But, I mean, because from what I'm seeing, the player, you're playing as Rex. Rex is the protagonist in 2, so I don't think there's any character creation in that. So I'm hoping that it will be more personal. I mean, because it makes sense, because Xenoblade 2 is story-based. Xenoblade 2 is story-based, unlike X, because since Xenoblade 2 is a sequel to the original, to this game, it's more story-based. And the X series will be exploration-based. What I also hope will return into are Telethia, maybe? I mean, because Telethia was in this game, and Telethia is in X as well. I mean, there's only one Telethia in X. But, like Nopon, it seems like Telethia are kind of a staple in the Xenoblade series, in both Xenoblade series. I mean, it kind of looks like there's Telethia in the gameplay footage, but I'm only going off with speculation. I'm only going off of what I'm seeing. Okay, what I'm hoping will not return into are Colony 6's crap, because I've built and rebuilt Colony 6 so many times. It's my fault though. I mean, if you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles for the first time, you might find excitement in rebuilding a new town, but I've rebuilt that town so many times, it's not even fun anymore. So I'm hoping that nothing similar will be in 2. But I'm hoping that if there is, it's not going to be someone asking you to find something with only a 0.2% drop rate, which isn't fun. I mean, if Xenoblade 2 does have a town rebuilding concept, it'll be different, hopefully. It won't be Colony 6 all over again. It won't be Colony 6 at all, hopefully. If Xenoblade 2 puts Colony 6 in there again and you have to rebuild it, I'm not going to be happy. But I'm willing to bet that it's not going to be in there. I mean, because I had to repeat that. The Colony 6 concept, I had to repeat that in Breath of the Wild through Terrytown. Luckily, Terrytown is just asking you to get wood and a few characters. It's not asking you to find a really, really rare bug. So, Terrytown was a little bit more lenient. So let's hope if there's town rebuilding concept in 2, it'll be more like Terrytown and not Colony 6. I mentioned this earlier, but what I hope won't return in 2 as well is the low level cap. I'm hoping it doesn't even have to be 99. It could be 80. I mean, because then I'll be able to fight the rock bart without worrying. I'm not the type of person to go fight an enemy 10 times higher than you. I'm not that brave. Let's just say that. But anyway, let's hope 2 does a good job explaining things unlike X. Because again, I didn't find out that there were heart-to-hearts in X till like, I don't know, almost a year into playing the game. I had the game for a year, and I just recently found out that there's heart-to-hearts. I knew there was affinity missions, but I thought those were heart-to-hearts. The game didn't explain to me that there's heart-to-hearts. But since there's different people worked on X, so that probably explains it. I just hope 2 explains things a little bit better. It doesn't have to be hand-holy. I don't want it to be hand-holy, but I would like to assume it'll explain things, because unlike the traditional art palette that is in this game and in X, the combat style is different. So I'm hoping there will be a tutorial that'll explain how this new combat style will work. It's not the art palette anymore, which I'll admit confuses me. I didn't understand how the combat commands worked in 2's gameplay footage at all. I didn't understand how that battle palette worked. I think you have to push certain buttons on the gamepad. I don't know. I don't even have a Switch, so I really shouldn't even be saying what buttons are on the Joy-Cons, because I don't have a Switch myself, so I don't know what buttons are on there. I think it's similar to a Wii U tablet, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't have a Switch myself. But I'm planning on getting one fairly soon, so whatever buttons allows you to push the art, I don't know, because I don't understand the Switch, and I don't understand the battle combat. I don't understand the combat style in I don't understand the combat style in 2, since it's different from the traditional art palette, which might throw me off. I mean, there were also special attack prompts that came up in the footage, like you'd see one character's portrait pop up with poison underneath it. I didn't understand how that worked. It came up with like poison and virus and other things like that. Virus is from X, and it basically means you can't do any ranged attacks, I think. But there's break and topple like in the original, and there's also stagger like in X. So it seems like they're combining battle concepts from both the original and X, because they're throwing in virus and stagger like in X. And they're also throwing in poison, like in the original, and break and topple. And I think there's also other ones on there that I didn't recognize. So 2 might be a whole new realm, and I don't understand how it works so far, but I've never played the game, so are you shocked? Are you shocked that I don't understand how the game works? Because I don't have it, I've never played it, it hasn't even been released yet, so I can't say I mean, it's a valid reason as to why I don't understand how the game works, because I don't have it, I've never played it, so I guess it's kind of understandable as to why I don't understand it, because it's a whole new battle tactic, it's a whole new battle setup, no art palette anymore, and the prompts are different, and the debuffs are different. It's understandable that I don't get any of it. It's understandable that I don't know how any of it works. All I know is, hurry the hell up, holiday season, because Monolith, I want to give you my money. I've got like 7 copies of Xenoblade 1, and I don't mind giving you more money. You lot deserve it. P.S. Keep Nopon in every subsequent game. Nopon are a staple. Love you, Monolith. Keep doing what you're doing. Alright, so I'm going back to commentating on gameplay footage. I'm going to sync back up with gameplay footage right now.
Advance, Nippon heroes!
I see you finally decided to show up. Let's see if we can bust these rust buckets like last time.
Think we can do it?
We'll get them. With this many troops on our side, we don't even need Shulk's help.
You're telling me you're more worried about the kid's schedule? Kinda soft for you, Atharan.
Shut up! Get moving!
Division 4, defend the barrier. Division 6, assist any wounded Homs.
Bring it on! These Hyentia may be a bunch of sissies, but they've got some pretty nifty gear!
That idiot! He'll get his head knocked off at this rate! Ha!
Keep it up! Show everyone the power of the Nopon! Go, Nopon, go! Fight like a Hirapon, Ricky!
It appears we have gained the upper hand.
Sire, if we hold our current position, a great victory is within our grasp.
It is still too early to come to that conclusion. The enemy still has hidden forces.
Your Highness, enemy reinforcements approaching from above. It's a face squadron.
They're here. Divisions 1 to 3 continue supporting the Homs and encircle the faces.
Your Highness, think of yourself!
Once the Vanguard has been eliminated, we must join the fight. Better that than die as cowards. Move!
Ha! Stick this in your exhaust pipe and smoke it! Who hasn't had a taste yet? Eat this! Should have stayed at home, lousy junk bots.
They're doing rather well. I do so enjoy a good show. But they have yet to unleash their power and fulfill their true potential.
Deadbeat drones! Come out and face us like real machines! I'll sort out the lot of you, scum!
And into Agniratha we go, with a rather exciting and intense cutscene to start off with. which talking about Agniratha's music. I feel like it's kind of a step down. I mean, you've got the exciting and new feeling of Mechonis Field, and then the tense and somewhat nerve-wracking beat of Central Factory, and then you've got this, which can almost put you to sleep in the right moment. But then again, if you know what Agniratha truly is, it is almost kind of fitting, because Agniratha was once the home of the Machina, and I guess in a way this song kind of fits for an abandoned town. I just find it kind of a step down compared to the first two Mechonis songs, which kind of make you tense and wonder what's going on in Mechonis.
So this is the Mechonis capital?
Yes, Agniratha. The heart of the Machina civilization.
It looks so desolate. Like there are no signs of anyone living here.
It truly is a soulless city.
Here, bad place. Ricky want to go.
So the Machina built this whole city? Not too shabby.
It looks like the buildings have been here for a very long time.
Look, Shulk. Dino Beast. Dino Beast eat city.
A dino beast? Here?
But how?
It is a Telethia. It looks like it's stone. Why would there be a Telethia in a place like this?
The fossilized Telethia are what remain of the beasts that attacked the capital in the ancient battle.
Why did the Telethia attack your city? Wasn't the ancient battle only between the Bionis and the Mechonis themselves?
The answer to your question can be found in that tower, the data center.
Data center. Sorry.
It is better that you see with your own eyes. Only then will you truly understand what happened between the Bionis and the Mechonis.
Okay, I just want to apologize ahead of time. I picked a bad time to record because I'm hearing all kinds of voices and noises outside. I'm hoping the microphone serves its purpose and doesn't pick those up, but if you hear them, I apologize. I'll try and edit them out. It's one of my pet peeves, honestly, because every time I start recording, you hear everything. I hear everything. Every time I start recording, everything starts. Every time I start recording, everybody starts being loud. Everything starts being loud. Every time I start recording, I'm hearing voices everywhere. I'm hearing drilling noises and industrial noises. It's just every time I start recording, it's quiet till then, but then I start recording and everybody starts being loud. It's really annoying. It's always been really annoying to me how things are quiet and then I get on a recording and then everybody starts raving pretty much. It's really annoying. But I'm really hoping that this microphone doesn't pick any of that up like my phone does. But we're in Agniratha now, and we've got a nice sunset to boot. Let's just hope that I'll have better luck this time. But since the spider mechon's here, I can't guarantee that. And I do not look forward to getting spammed with side quests. But I think if I want to get a secret area in this, I need to complete all the side quests. And here we go. Rows and rows of side quests. You know what I might just do? I might just speed all this up and maybe put music on top of it just to make it humorous with the speed up. Cause, oh my god. Yep, this is it. Unresolved issues requiring immediate attention are present. Resolve all issues to receive a key to the top for a special view. I have to do all the side quests if I want to get in the special area. Yay. Now back to it. Okay. All the side quests are picked up. Now I gotta do some armor maintenance for Fiora. I'm not gonna be able to get into Agniratha legitimately because of all this. I put the bullhorn on there anyway. I put the bullhorns on there anyway, even though I do not like the design. Simply because they're the best I've got. They're the best they're the best headpiece I've got. So I sacrificed cosmetics for defense. But hopefully I can change that. Not really. I just picked it because it's got a good art heel. That's better, but my defense suffered for it. I'll be right back. Oh wow, I got Fiora to match finally. Somewhat. Yeah, it's the attack series, so yay! Even her daggers match her outfit, and I got slammed with side quests. I look forward to doing all that. Look at all this, guys. I think the spider guy is the wise Grimory, if I remember right, so I have to kill him even if I don't want to. I was gonna kill him anyway. Even if I don't want to, I was gonna kill him anyway. Even though he's got a horrible spike. I might have to farm for spike defense gems, because I don't think I'll be able to stay on top of Purge while also staying on top of other Monado arts. Because even in New Game Plus, I had trouble with that bastard.
It looks like the power's up and running.
Fiora, what's the matter?
Everyone, follow me.
What is that?
It looks like it's here. But it's just an image.
No way. Whoa, you're right.
These are memories of a time long forgotten.
Fiora.
Hey.
They were left behind by the Machina before they abandoned this place, so that others may know their story.
Her voice sounds like...
In ancient times, when the Bionis and the Mechonis came into existence, I was born as well. Just as the Bionis had a soul, I came to exist in this world as the soul of the Mechonis. I created my children on Mechonis and acquired this body. They called themselves Machina, and Mechonis was transformed into a world brimming with life. The Machina gave rise to an advanced civilization and built this great city.
This city?
Can't believe it used to be so lively.
They lived their lives in peace and harmony. The gentle Machina worshipped me. Life also flourished on Bionis. The Machina generously shared the fruits of their civilization with the peoples of the Bionis. They believed their two worlds would grow hand in hand. Then, a terrible fate descended on them from above.
Is that the Monado? But why? Why would the Bionis...
Wielding the Sword of Light, the Bionis attempted to destroy the Machina.
Are those Telethia?
I tried to save the Machina, and confronted the Bionis. And so, I confronted Zanza.
Zanza?
The battle waged on and on. Even as our life forces depleted, Zanza and I continued to fight. However, it did at last come to an end.
The giant.
This is when Zanza was imprisoned.
Taking advantage of my final blow to the Bionis, its beings took Zanza and sealed him firmly away. However, the battle with Zanza had greatly consumed my life force. I warned the surviving Machina that the Bionis had not yet been destroyed, and that one day he would be released.
I'm the one who released him.
I then entered a long and deep slumber, in preparation for Zanza's inevitable reawakening.
It's all clear to me what you wanted to do. Stop the battle between the Bionis and the Mechonis.
Fiora, I see now. It was her inside you.
Yes.
Lady Mayneth desired a body in which she could be free. And after you were captured by Egil's Mechon, it was I who transferred her soul into your body.
But why did it have to be my body?
Because you are close to Shulk, the heir to the Monado.
It was all because of our world, because of Bionis, that this city was devastated.
Now I understand why Egil would want to stop the Bionis from reawakening.
I get it too. But how's killing any of us gonna solve his problem?
Precisely. What mhappened to the Machina was a tragedy. But we cannot forgive the Mechon attack on Bionis.
What worries me is the Monado that the Bionis used. It's no different from how the legends describe, but still.
It must hold a deadly power.
But you have used it wisely, Shulk. It has not overwhelmed you, as it did me.
He's right. If you hadn't been using the Monado, we wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes.
But it was Zanza who bestowed this sword upon me.
However, it is not Zanza who now wields the Monado. It is you, Shulk. That is also the reason why Mayneth chose Fiora as a vessel, so that the tragedy of he who wields the Monado would not be repeated.
The tragedy of he who wields the Monado?
Shulk, believe. Believe in the path you have chosen, and those who walk it with you. Mayneth once said this of the Monado. The Monado is not simply a unique weapon. It is the light within each and every person in this world.
Light? What do you mean?
It is the light of life. The will to survive no matter what. Perhaps Lady Mayneth was drawn to your light. Beyond there lies the Mayneth Shrine. Egil will be there. Is it still your intention to defeat Egil? That has not changed.
We understand the history of Mechonis now. If he is willing to listen, we will try to reason with him. But if not...
I understand. Then, if that is your decision, so be it. I will try to persuade Egil one last time. But I am prepared for his refusal.
Vinaya.
I know Vinaya said she'll try to persuade him, but she didn't sound confident.
We have to go after her.
But how do we get to the shrine from here?
Up ahead is a transporter leading to the shrine. But it's inactive. We need to trigger the verification devices to activate it. We'll find one at the top of each of the 4 pillars. If we trigger them all, we can use the transporter.
How Fiora know that?
Mayneth's memories. She tells me these things.
Do you know how to trigger them?
Maybe my body itself is the key.
Okay. Then let's get searching.
These cutscenes get to me every time. It just makes me wonder what the sequel to this game is going to do regarding the Titans in that game. Are they all clashing? Are the Titans in that game are the Titans in that game gonna be clashing? I apologize. I apologize for my silence. It's just these cutscenes. Even though I've seen them so many times, I just need a couple minutes to take them in. It makes you think, because in the beginning of this game, everybody was hell-bent on killing the Mechon and destroying the Mechon. They had no idea what Mechonis was all about. But then you come here and you learn everything. You learn that Mechonis wasn't as bad as it was originally presumed. Mechonis had life too. Mechonis had life that lived just like the people in Bionis did. They all lived in harmony. But it was Zanza who started everything. It was Zanza who disrupted the peace between the Bionis and Mechonis. The Bionis and Mechonis would have lived in peace had it not been for Zanza. So it was Zanza who started all this, started things like this. Zanza was the one who started the war between the Bionis and the Mechonis. Everything would have been fine had it not been for him. Because Maneth wanted peace. And the Mechon never initially had any ill will towards the people of Bionis. Zanza triggered a hatred between everybody. They would have lived in harmony had it not been for him. It just makes you think. I mean, because when you first start this game and you watch Momkar's Metalface kill Fiora, you become invested, and you also share the same hatred for the Mechon as the characters in this game do. Because that scene with Fiora, I think that scene with Fiora is meant to get the player to say, I hate the Mechon for what they did too. I want to kill the Mechon just as much as the characters in this game. But then you come here to Agniratha, and you learn that the Mechon were not responsible. It was Zanza. Zanza triggered a hatred between everybody. The Mechon wouldn't have killed anybody had it not been for Zanza. And that just all leads to the points that occur later on in this game. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just gets even more tense from here. Especially once you battle Egil, it just gets even more tense from there as you learn more and more as the story unfolds. It doesn't just stop with the hatred for the Mechonis or the hatred for the Mechon. Because when they first start this, when everybody first starts this journey, they want to kill all the Mechon. They might even want to damage the Mechonis a little bit. Probably not, but they probably would have if they had to. In order to avenge Fiora's death and kill all the Mechon. That's what they wanted to do when they first started this. But then you come here and you learn that the Mechon weren't responsible. So if you were in this situation, you wouldn't know what to do. Because they all come out here to kill the Mechon. But as they are now, they learned that they don't have to kill the Mechon anymore. They just need to dissuade Egil. If you think about it, if they manage to dissuade Egil, wouldn't that be where their journey stops? In the game, it isn't, but what if dissuading Egil was all it took? Nobody else had to die, nothing else had to happen, they go and dissuade Egil, and then peace can return. But Shulk released Zanza. They must still be wondering if it ends after you dissuade Egil. Cause Zanza's out there now. And as of this point in the story, I don't think they know. I think in this point of the story, I think they believe that Zanza is still dead. But it just makes you wonder what all the characters are thinking regarding this. Are they thinking that their journey's gonna end once they dissuade Egil? Are they still hating the Mechon? Dunban mentioned that they can't forgive the Mechon for attacking the Bionis. But it was Zanza who caused that initially. The Mechon might have attacked the Bionis and killed Fiora, but it was Zanza who spurred that. Ego wouldn't have become the way he was had it not been for Zanza. It just makes you think. And it's things like this, deep storylines like this, that make me excited for the sequel to this game. I think I want to end it here. Because with the intensity of that cutscene, I don't want it to be ruined by battling and things like that. It's just a lot to think about. I'd like to pursue the story on a less somber note, hence in a different episode, because that cutscene makes you think. And yay! That was quick to respond. I mean, Agniratha itself, if the cutscene wasn't enough, Agniratha itself is a testament to what Zanza did. I mean, things like this, the stone Telethia. It was Zanza who started this. I mean, because as bad as the Telethia are, it is grim to see them in stone like this. I'm actually reconsidering my idea on adding a humorous bit with the picking up the side quest. I was gonna speed that up and put humorous music on it. I'm reconsidering that because this is a somber video and I don't want to speed up that part of collecting all the side quests and then add humorous music to it. That wouldn't be a really fitting part to this video. I might just speed it up and I don't know. I think it would be kind of unfitting if I put humorous music on it. I'll speed it up, but I'm not gonna put humorous music over it. Because this is a somber video. I don't want to ruin it with humorous stuff. But to be fair, the music doesn't help. It's like I mentioned in the beginning of this, the music, it's much too peaceful when you consider what happened to Agniratha and what happened to the Machina and all that. The music's not really fitting after the cutscene that we just witnessed. Not fitting at all. It's peaceful, and I like the violins, but it isn't fitting. I think I might end it here. I mean, I spent the first 15 minutes talking about the sequel, so I apologize for that, but I just had to get my thoughts out. And that's another reason why I want to end it now, because I spent 15 minutes talking about it. So I don't want to pursue Agniratha right now if I combine both the sequel discussion and this, I think it adds up to almost 50 minutes, so we're all recording time, so I might just end it now, and hopefully the next part will be less somber. So the Mechonis Field was confusing, trying to find memory pieces. Central Factory was stressful, trying out a new mic and everything wailing on me, and then Agniratha so far has been somber. Each part of Mechonis has had its own tone, its own theme. Let's just hope that things will get better. I mean, things will definitely get exciting when I pick on that spider unique monster. But so far, Agniratha has been somber. But we'll just have to see what the next part fares. With one last alley-oop, I will see you next time.